Hello guys and welcome to MRC X-Treme here in Jeddah. It's obviously as part of the cancelled race that we had back in, and well, joy or despair normally for me, but despair or joy to someone, and it's always interesting action because there's plenty of overtaking opportunities, but there's also a lot of caution got to be taken, especially around that tight twisty first sector. Then you've got quite a long straight in the middle sector, but the corner at the end of it is quite a hard overtaking spot. Then you've obviously got the third DRS straight, if I could talk, all the way down to the final corner. But my partner in crime for the night, I believe, I don't want to get it too wrong, but I believe he won here this season, and he is soon to be Tier 2 champion for the third time, I want to say. He's MRCX Elite Tier champion in the past as well. He's also your league manager and head of commentary. It's Mark Hodgson. How are you?
Hello, my friend. I'm good, buddy. I'm good. A little bit of stress trying to get home in time, but for this one of the main roads on the way home was closed, which took me a bit by surprise. But no, mate, I'm really happy to do this. I'm really happy to be here, and obviously with yourself as well. It's been a while since we've done this, and you're pretty much right. I mean, I hope you're right in terms of my next championship in Tier 2. I hope so. I mean, I think a good result that we've got this week coming up in Canada, I'm really hoping and praying. And you're right, I did win this one this season by about, well, I think it was less than a tenth of a second, actually, to be fair. Drag race to the line outside the last corner. Really good fun. And yeah, so you're right, X-Treme here. This was one of the early rounds that got cancelled for many glitches, and now we've got, you know, X-Treme here. We've had Tier 3 earlier, and now X-Treme, and cracking on with the season, really.
Yeah, that's certainly how it is. I don't want you to be co-op with me anymore because I have to go through all your accolades every time, and there's too many.
I mean,
I have to remember them.
I mean, I think I've dropped a couple because I'm not in the stewards anymore, and but you know, to win 3 championships in this incredible league, I do feel very privileged, and you know, I kind of feel I've got one hand on the Tier 2 championship this season. Fingers crossed it always goes to plan. I know I've got 4 races left to seal it, but you know, anything can happen, as we all know in MRC, and fingers crossed that I'm hoping, for me personally, that Canada goes really well, and that I can win it in Canada. It's this place that I won my first ever league race, which was MRC. I don't even know what season it was. I'm going to say season 4, maybe season 5, for my first ever win. So to win a championship there would mean a huge, huge amount, to be fair. But hopefully, as long as I can just keep doing what I've been doing this season and being consistent, it'll come.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my eyes, pretty much. It's going to take, you're going to have to go full Connor if you're not going to win it, so it's like, yeah, at this point. I
normally throw my rum bottles out, but I'll have to really throw a big rum bottle at somebody.
Well, G-Star and Error Voice are currently side by side, overtaking each other in the final sector, so...
To be fair, I was actually on board with Error Voice, well, half on board, and they were side by side and following each other the full lap.
Yeah, I was so confused by it. I was like, are these two getting confused with the racing quality? It's, you know,
it was a bit strange, that one.
G-Star's retired.
I don't. Wow, look, he's in the wall. Yeah, I don't know if he lost it. I'm not even sure. I don't have the con numbers up at the moment, because I've got the stream on my phone. But yeah, I mean, everybody didn't get hampered too much. He was the car behind. Didn't look like he got hurt. But yeah, I think G-Star may have done in that lap with the 31.9. Of course, now you say out the session.
Yeah,
But this has been a heck of a good tier this season, hasn't it? You know, we've got people like Baby Hornet, for example, currently up in 4th, right behind his teammate, only 3/10 off.
Yeah, he's got a nosebleed.
You know, yeah. I knew you couldn't resist.
No, he's just out qualified being hard on Tier 3, so I'm salty.
He, you know, he's gone to assist as well this season, and you know, I think he's had a bit of bad luck. His pace in Tier 2 has been very, very good and very strong. He just had a bit of bad luck, really, unfortunately, and it's harsh because he deserves more. I think he's currently third in the standings, which is deserved, and hopefully he's going to push on for potentially second for him, because I think, first he's without assist. Colin TK there in 6 on the mediums.
Yeah, what a fun that
He's
is.
one of the newest people to the league, and we did a little few 5-lap fun races on Monday evening for the bank holiday, and he was involved in them. And I can honestly say, racing against him, he is definitely one to watch. I don't really think he's tier 2 pace. I think he is pretty much tier 1 mid to top tier 1 pace. I really do.
I think tonight's a good indicator for that, of course. I've just realised as well that Eugeni's racing, so really Chris Bailey's currently on pole.
To be fair, Bailey's 1.1 behind on the mediums. There is a good offset here, and the track, because it's a night race, the track really, really rubbers in. And you've got to be in the right place at the right time. And this is one of those circuits because of that night and the way the track grips up. I think Chris has had a good little stint there. I think that's a good lap from him. I don't think he'd be upset. I mean, you could, like you said, look at Ujoni on the 28.5, which is mental lap, but not be too disheartened if you're Chris at this moment in time, because you think, okay, I've got my soft laps, my soft tyres to come, and that gap's going to really shrink. And we know what Ujoni's like, but Ujoni's good at setting the bankers. And sometimes he goes quicker in his second run. I mean, a lot of the time he doesn't even bother with the third. But there is also times when he does invalidate. And in qualifying, there are mistakes that can be there.
Yeah, this track, I found out the hard way. Like, I was, I think, 6/10 off at the end of the first sector, which was good enough to put me in second come the end of qualifying. And then I got into the corner at the end of the second DRS straight, and boom, ran off. There you go, goodbye. There goes my lap. And then when I say run off, I mean like by I still swear to this moment I was 2 wheels on the track, but but that's a good time from Anton. Oh, micro mash.
That's great lap. I was on board with not on board, but broadcast with him, and to be fair, he set purple sectors, but it was his first lap, so I didn't have any indicator of how exactly, how quick that actually was. But that's a fantastic lap.
It certainly is. Saviour is on controller tonight. He's managed to invalidate already. I don't think Saviour's going to have.
Is he on holiday again? Because if he's on controller, I know. It's ridiculous. The man is absolutely berserk.
Can you lend me a tenner?
Because he does this. He goes on holiday. He's the only man that will go on holiday with his family, with his partner, and take his PS and still race. I don't. My girlfriend would go mental, and I don't know if she's watching or not, because she sometimes does watch, and bless her, she's been a great support. And I think she would go absolutely mental. If we went away and I took my PS.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, let's say for me, it's like, if I come 2 times a week, that's it, I don't get spoken to for 3 days. So it's like, brilliant, cheers. But I'm already in trouble for tonight, but oh well. It's all part of the fun.
To be fair, we planned this, so, you and I said we're going to do this.
We did say, come on, let's just have a bit of bank holiday week fun, but we are still, this is still very much a serious race. We do have to be somewhat serious and somewhat responsible. Jules has got P5 with a 29.4, so that's a good lap from him.
It is a good lap, yeah. I'm just looking at Saviour at the moment, and he's it's almost one of those, because of racing wheel to wheel and following Saviour for a little while before he buggers off into the distance, and I love racing him. The lines he's taking, he's missed a few apexes, and you can sort of see that he's not as comfortable as he always is. He's coming up to the line now, and let's see what he does. A 30.3. So you see, with that lap, yeah, it's one of those that I can sort of see that he's on controller. You can see the lines he's taking, the way the car's behaving, that he's not that comfortable this evening. Now, Stubb's going to be a good one. I think from what I've seen, he won in Tier 3. I've literally just got through the door, so I don't actually know.
He did win.
But I think he won, didn't he? Yeah, he's had a good race. He's had again another one that's had a good season, but a bit ups and downs with part of his some of his results and a bit of bad luck. But he's been thereabouts, and I've raced him. You and I have both raced him for many seasons. I raced him in 2 as well, in Tier 2 for a lot of seasons, and my gosh, got even quicker.
A 28.2, and that's on the same tyre, may I add.
I was about to say that. Yeah, 3 laps on those soft tyres that he's done. That's incredible. But that again shows that if you've set your car up right, if you've got the pressures right, and it depends on your driving style. Of course, I'm rubbish at tyre saving. The track's gripping up and rubbering up really well.
Yeah. I mean, his main
I think Stubb's forgotten to put his car on hot lap as well. He's only got 90% battery in the last sector, and he's on medium. So I think he's kind of forgotten.
Yeah, probably. But, no, Stubbs, in terms of Stubbs' season, I mean, we literally got our very own Ujoni in Tier 3, and that's Bobo. So it's like...
Yeah.
You're almost sat back... It's like second place is almost the winner, so Stubbs pretty much the champion in my eyes. I think he's got second in nearly every race. But now you've got like a 3-way battle at the front between Gab, who's just returned, Stubb and Bobo. Those 3 are like the runaway leaders at the minute. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I raced Bobo. He was in on Monday night for most of it as well. And yeah, I can definitely say he's a good, solid top Tier 2 driver. And it feels strange to me saying that because of my championship position. I don't always class myself as a top Tier 2 driver, but
I think you have to now, Mark.
Yeah, I can definitely say that. Bobo's 100%. Some of the tracks we raced at on Monday were, he was a lot quicker than me as well. So. Yeah,
he's definitely. I think there's a few we all need to discuss. I mean, there's still 4 races left this season, then discussions will take place on who should be what's here, blah blah blah, isn't it? So.
I think there's going to be a lot of discussion on this because a lot of them are the new people that have come to MRC, and of course we always welcome new drivers. Of course we are a no-line league as well, so don't forget that, folks, if you're looking to join us. But yeah, there's a lot of people that join us. Colin's a perfect example, and so is Bobo this season, and they are actually quicker than they think. Armour, I've actually spoke to Armour yesterday. And he said a lot of the tracks that he's raced earlier this season have been the first time without a line. And he's caused me a lot of headaches, funny enough, this season. So, it is the easiest assist to drop if you are a line user and you're watching us and thinking about getting involved. Like I said, don't be scared. It is the easiest assist because I've said this so many times on commentary, and I've said it in Discord as well, that mentally in the back of your mind, you have already got the braking points down to a T. You're not always looking for the red part of the racing line to start braking. You're actually looking at, okay, where's the red part of the line, but also what's next to it, whereabouts is it? So you do think about it, you do already have that sort of skill set. It only takes 5 to 10 laps of even time trial.
Sorry.
Ooh, what have you seen?
There was an Alpine coming right up to the rear end of Smith, and they didn't get out the way. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to say any more than that.
Oh, that'll be Ryan, I think. Yeah, Ryan's the only one on track. The other Alpine Armour's in the pit. Speaking of Armour, he's in the
flying into the final corner, and there was a Williams and an Alpine just sat there, sort of on the racing line. That's going to maybe be seen in the stewards, I think.
That might be Jules, I think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I think it lost Ryan a little bit of time, but we'll see after the session, I'm sure, in the stewards room. But the main competitor to Micromash is now out on track. It's Ujoni. Chris is going to have to come back in. Chris is going to be very tight for time here if he's going to get back round for another lap.
Yeah, I think a few of them are. Stubbs in the pits. Ryan's still got to get round as well. I don't know if he's going to try and go again.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I like this. What do you? I mean, I know unfortunately it didn't go well for you this evening, but what in terms of other than that, What do you think of this track as a street circuit in general? Also, 9 of you watching, please don't forget to hit the like button and please do get involved. I've got the YouTube up here, so I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the chat and talking to us throughout. But Connor, what do you think? I know you've got everybody in the chat. What do you think about this circuit? How do you feel around? You know, it's very high speed, isn't it?
I'll say this. I don't say many good things about this game, but this is my favourite track that I've driven on this game.
Wow.
I do
indeed.
I do just. Well, it's not exactly hard to be honest, but I do actually enjoy driving this track. It's a challenge, but it's more. To me, it feels like the most grippy circuit, and feels like the one that you can actually push the car around the most. I'm saying that as I took my wheel off in Tier 3, but it's like. But you genuinely feel more confident in the car, which is weird considering the walls are so close to you.
Yeah.
Wow, what a lap that is. But Michael Nash has just entered the track as well, so let's have a look in a minute. Has Bailey come in? Yeah. No, Bailey's got to get on those tyres. Interestingly, he's a 10.5 up at the end of the first sector. What's he going to do at the end of the middle? He's only he's not enough.
No, he's not, but this could still take him ahead of Ant, who's not going to get another lap in. Michael Mash, I'm going to keep my eye on Michael Mash because he's he's in the middle of the sector at the hairpin at the moment, so he'll get round and get a lap in. But no, I mean, that's high pace. I mean, I do sort of concur with you there, and I do agree with you that you're right. There's a lot of these corners you still, even though the walls are there.
Third for Bailey.
Yeah, so he might have been able to. Anton an outlap. I don't think he's going to get round though. But yeah, I think this is one because this is very Canada-esque. This track.
In a weird way, yes.
Because Canada still has a lot of walls that are close to you and. You know, this is this sort of Canada, but without the elevation changes and sort of at night, basically.
There's so many bumps at this Canada, where here it's actually, again, unlike most street tracks, it's a very almost flat track in many ways. There's a couple of bumps, but not as many.
Yeah, no,
and the curbs don't kill you here either. The curbs are also generally quite flat, other than the odd few. So. Yeah,
it seems to be the inside curbs. You can either, if you half use the curb, it can hurt you. But if you really sort of mount them properly with a wheel or completely skateboard them, then you know they can be quite kind. As you rightly say, they're not a lot of very high ones here. Michael Mash coming through the first sector is slightly down on his previous time.
He did have a little moment in the middle sector on his last lap though, so this could be where his brand new tyres, bear in mind, don't forget that fastest lap he did was on 3-lap-old tyres as well.
Oh, that's a good point actually, yeah, very good point.
So let's see.
Okay through the chicane there.
He doesn't get as close to the wall as most other drivers though.
Yeah, I don't really think it gains you any time, and he is. You're right, again.
Oh no!
Miles off and he's invalidated!
I believe his teammate, Woomax, has just put him off going into that corner, because if you look, Woomax was in the runoff area.
I wondered who that was. Yeah, he could have done, potentially. I mean, I don't know if... Ooh, Error Voices... Wow, I don't know what happened there, Error Voice. We'll move on from that one. Colin's gone in 5th.
Yeah. Good luck on his debut. I think this is his debut if it's not. Or am I wrong?
In X-Treme, it's certainly... Yes, it is. It's his racing debut, it is. You're right.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I enrolled him last week, so I think it is his debut. So.
Yeah, because on Monday I was desperate to get him racing with us, and luckily we got him in to have some laps. I'm looking down the grid. Everyone's sort of invalidated there.
Error Voice, I don't know about it. Where's Woomax just retired? Hopefully it's in the pit.
Hope so.
Yeah. I'm already.
Everyone's done,
everyone's
I think.
Done. So, I do think, though, looking at Micromash, he was very much on to be very close with Ujoni there. At least that makes it somewhat exciting for the race. Also, Anton managed to get above
just
Bailey.
Put in Discord that, typical those two together again by less than a tenth. And Chris, has saved a good few sets of tyres there as well for the race, so he's got options really, really open. to see what happens in the race. But Johnny's just put in Discord that he's not happy. He had poor ERS management and not a clean lap. I hate it when he does that.
Yeah, because it makes you think like, well, it doesn't make me think anything because it doesn't matter. He's got more talent in his little toe than I have, but still, it's just like, if that's not a clean lap, then what am I doing?
Yeah, I sort of do feel the same, and it's yeah, that's hard. That's hard. It's harsh. But that was a good qualifying.
Yeah, it was. Eugenie takes pole. Micromatch is second. Anton in third. Chris Bailey is in P4. Colin on his debut in P5. Brilliant from him. I think he's the lead of the Tier 2 guys as well. Armar in P6. Law P7. Woomax is in P8. Error Boys P9. Jules is in P10. Baby Hornet in P11. Bergen is P12. Freddie Olsen P13. Stube, I think, is the only Tier 3 driver, so he's pole for them 14. Kaiser Soze, Red Car Rambo, B17, Saviour Smith, G-Star. I saw the time mechanic done, so I had to rush it a little bit. But that is your grid. I was worrying that I saw it in 5 seconds. I was like, I don't know if I can talk this fast. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Colin, yeah, if he's going to be Tier 2, yeah, he is leading that one, pole out of that one ahead of Armour. Stu just needs to finish to get maximum points for the Tier 3 side of the championship. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So all he needs to do is just keep it clean and just get to the end, really. It doesn't matter where he finishes.
I can't have Stu as a double champ. We can't have it. It's not good.
Yeah, to be fair, it's lucky because when he sees me and when I meet up with him occasionally, then he kind of doesn't have that gloating rights over me, but he might do over you.
I mean, I've got one and he's got one. Could I just stay that way, please? Like, please.
Yeah.
No, I love you really, Stu, but don't win it.
So this is going to be a good one. This one. I can't remember how many laps we have. I missed
25
beforehand. 25 laps isn't a huge amount of laps, but it's a street circuit. We know the risk of safety cars, and especially late safety cars as well. That can really shake up the field if you've got any tyres left. I think potentially, if there's a few safety cars, Chris Bailey, I think he's only used 2 sets of tyres in the whole session of qualifying. A medium and a soft set, so he, depends on what he's set up with. He could have a hard, medium, and maybe 2 sets of the soft tyres left, so that could really play in later on in the race. It depends on what Joni's got. It depends what they start off on as well.
Yeah, it's a very hard track to actually call strategy for because, there's always the chance of an early safety car like Tier 3 because some idiot in a Ferrari decided to crash. But no, it's always a track that can spring a safety car at you. So that can ruin the hard tyre runners a little bit, especially if it becomes slightly later in the race. And you can also, because the hard tyres seem to just last forever around this track, so if there is one in the first 5 laps, you can almost put the hards on and go to the end instantly from there, really. So I think the better for me, at least, is to start on the mediums here.
Yeah, it's a bit like what we saw at Monaco last week, isn't it? With that one, the hards just go and go and go. But the medium, the grip difference is quite high around here. Personally, I don't mind the hard tyres on this game. I generally try to start on them. Even with earlier safety cars, it depends on when they come out. If you seem to get one, so what, we've got 25 laps. If you seem to get one around lap 10 or so, it's when the medium crossover can come into play, and those who start on mediums can get that stop onto the hard tyres and go to the end, where those on the hard tyres to start with could potentially be at that disadvantage to take those mediums that extra lap or two, just outside the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that could hurt. So it's where that strategy, that thought pattern comes into it. Do you want to go with the status quo and go mediums? Do you want to try somewhere different, go softs in the chance of, as you said, the early safety car? Or do you want to just go, okay, well, if there is an early safety car, I'm on the hards. We know what the mediums are like for the second warm-up phase, especially after about 3 or 4 laps, maybe. then, you know, what do you want to go with? If the hards will be okay, you're going to save that life and, you know, even take a full racing pit stop and lose 25, well, I want to say 25 seconds on average, 20 to 25 seconds on your pit stop. It's a big unknown, isn't it? And that's what I love about these types of tracks with the high safety car percentages.
Yeah, I want to know also where YouTube chat is tonight. We've got 10 viewers and we haven't even had one hello.
I know, I'm thinking that as well. I was looking at that and thinking, well, where's everybody disappeared to?
The first person to say hello gets a bit of Mark's rum. There you go. Come on.
Yeah,
no,
I'll share some
commenting. You should all be
I'm
commenting.
surprised by that.
How many likes
we're
have
going to
we
have
got?
a race now.
We've got 4 likes, so they are listening. So come on, guys. Talk to me. I'm not that... Well, I am a bit scary, but I'm not that scary. But let's have a look at tyres, because now we are racing. Well, attempting to race. Let's see, we've got front 3 on mediums, then we've got Bailey, interestingly, he's got softs. Again, all you have to do really is make the soft last 5 laps, pray there's a safety car on lap 5, then you can go hard to the end. So the soft hard can work here if you've saved a set. Then again, we've got from 5th to 8th on the mediums, then Aaron Voice is the first hard runner in P9. Stu, Kaiser and Smith have all gone for the hards, everyone else on the medium tyre. So a lot of people like the medium tyre option, but I think the guys a bit further back kind of feel like they've got nothing to lose here, so they've gone for the hards.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we've just said about, you know, the potential to do a completely different strategy and potentially call people out and catch them out. I'm interested to see what Chris can do, because if he does get caught and can't get through somebody, you know, he can potentially try to look after the tyres a little bit longer, take them, you know, you said the 5 lap, maybe 6 laps, for example, and just eke them out that little bit longer and keep the life in them.
Yeah. I think he needs to be aggressive off the start, though, if he's going to make this strategy work. He needs to really be putting pressure on Micromash and U-Journey, which we know Chris can do. He can match them whenever he wants to. He just seems to have a lot of bad luck that always sort of keeps him out of the way. I mean, we know U-Journey is very much in the class of his own in general, but there is glimpses of Anton, Micromash, Chris, Saviour at times as well, the Kid and obviously Reese in Tier 1. They all can take it to U-Journey, they just need it all to fall in the right place at the right time. So hopefully that's today. We see an interesting battle at the front. We've also got the battle of the Tier 2s from Colin to Armar to Woomax, I think, is Tier 2 as well. And then you've got Baby Hornet as well down in P11. Chris has not helped himself in the slightest there, and neither has Micromash, because they're starting about 10 metres back on their grid slot. So
yeah, that's not going to help at all. But, you know, I do find it can actually really hamper you, to be honest. I think it really puts you in that sort of mind frame that you are starting further back, it's not going to go as well as you wanted it to, and, you know, was it maybe a foot that it sets you further back, but it really can hurt you. But here we go. We're ready to go, lights out.
There's a Red Bull who seems to have just hung back quite majorly. I think it's Smith, but he's just joining the grid now. Once he's there, we should get some lights eventually, one day. Yeah, here we go. So let's go on board with Micromash, who's in P2. 5 red lights, and we're underway. It was actually a bit of a bad initial getaway from Micromash. He seems to have struggled a little bit. It's going to leave him under a bit of pressure. Bailey's already up the inside of Anton. Is he going to get it done? He's going to try and stick running outside. He should have the extended grip to be able to get this done early on. He has got it done. What a move that was from Chris. Colin as well, around the outside of 3 on Armar Red, but he may have to give it back because he's just run off track.
Yeah, what a great start from Chris. You're right, you know, I was on board with Johnny looking back, and you're right, that first phase from Micromash wasn't good. Too much wheel spin in the first phase. Seemed to get okay in the second phase of the getaway, but Chris, yeah, you're right, you know, that traction outside of turn 2 really paid dividends, and now he's going to be hunting down the top 2 and seeing what he can do.
He is, he's right up the chart. I had to get one in of Micromash. So let's see if he can get this done. He'll be hoping, well, he knows he's going to be in the DRS. He'll be almost hoping here that U-Journey sort of pulls out the DRS of Micromash just so he gets that advantage on the next lap. because Chris is looking racy in the minute, but at the same time, Joni's just had a huge moment in the lead.
Well, I've just gone further back because Smith's, 9 seconds off the pack, and he's, I don't know if he's disconnected, he just doesn't look comfortable at all. It doesn't seem like he's got damage, but he's just, looks like he's easing it back towards the pits. He's not even full throttle outside the final chicane, and you're not sure what's happened to Smith. He's not got any damage. I don't know if it's rear wing damage or side pod damage. I'm just going to keep on board while you're focusing on the actual race up ahead, see what Smith does. But he's on the hard tyres, so, no, he's coming. I think he's going to... Is he coming at the pits? Yeah, he is coming at the pits.
Yeah, Honda.
So he didn't see any damage, though, on that Red Bull. So he decided he's just going to take out the pit limiter board for no reason whatsoever. And he's going to have a pit stop. He's going to put the meat. Yeah, so lap one more time was Smith in the pits. There didn't seem any damage on that one, so strange one.
And it could be rear wing damage. Sadly, we can't see rear wing damage, can we? So that could be a case, but that's also one for the stewards to look at after. Interesting though, the battle for the lead. Michael Mash is still right there. Chris Bailey is sort of now in that point where he was on about, where he's just kind of stuck because he's in that DRS train of Michael Mash behind Joni now. Joni's struggling. It's something rare, very rare to say, but Joni is struggling quite a lot early on here. I don't know if he hasn't got the warm-up in his tyres properly, but Mike Cramash is really putting a lot of pressure, and I tell you something, he might be about to get the move done into the final corner. He is. Mike Cramash is up the inside, but Joni's going to try and keep it around the outside, but no. Mike Cramash has got it done. Did Joni back out early? Oh, he's hit the wall.
Was there a bit of contact? Was there a bit of contact, or was that the wall?
I think Joni's just gone into the wall, and look at Bailey. He's up the inside. He's going to make the move. Is he going to get both of them potentially into turn one? No, he's not quite, but it's very close between the two. There's contact between the two as well. Anton's there ready to pounce.
That's those soft tyres that you mentioned. These first 2 laps, you're right. The first 2-3 laps, the advantage is to Chris, as you rightly say, mate. And use that absolutely to his advantage. And I was surprised. I don't know if there was contact with a wall or between Mike and Johnny outside the final corner. I couldn't see exactly. I don't think there will be actual damage to the cars, but there was definitely something. There was definitely sparks flying somewhere.
Yeah, there definitely was. But Chris Bailey was rubbing his hands after he saw that little bit of contact, because there was definitely something. I don't know who it's between. Oh, I'll tell you what though, Chris has had a bit of a moment, and now look, he's opened the opportunity for the Italian to try and come back at him, but at the same time he's got the DRS. He's not going to make the move here on Mike Cramash. I'm almost certain of that. Chris is cleverer than that. He knows there's another DRS zone just to come, and then another one straight after that, because they never end at this track. But
it seems like there's not one for forever in the first sector, and then as soon as you get to the final 2 sectors, what's Chris doing into the final corner?
He's having a look.
He's having a look.
Who's going to have the DRS for the straight? Oh, big moment for Chris.
Andrew Joni further behind as well. Did Chris get it? No, Chris didn't get it.
No, Mike Cramash has got it. So,
on the battle back. Wow.
And look at Colin behind. He's going to try and make a move on Anton. No, he's backed out. Very smart driving. He knew that going around the outside there with Joni being that close in front of them probably wasn't the smartest of ideas.
But look at this, Armour Red's kept in close contact at the back of Colin, and then we've also got Floppy Loppy himself as well in the other remaining Red Bull. There, Womack's only a second, 1.2 behind, just outside the DRS, but if these guys, the top 7 have got to react to each other in the braking zone. They've got to be careful of that turbulent air. Yes, okay, it's not as much as it has been in previous generations because of the way these Formula 1 cars are. But if Womack can pick his own braking point, Womack can pick his own turning and throttle pickup, whereas the top 7 have to follow Micromash. And it depends I wonder what Baby Hornet Jules Bergen can do as well. Everybody's still up on the hards. He's the first of the hard runners. So Baby Hornet Womack, I think, made a mistake. Simon's through.
Yeah, so Simon's now going to try and get himself on the back of this pack as well. So it's an opportunity for people like Armour Red, Colin, Hornet here to really show what they're made of, because these guys are... This is like a human centipede out front right now.
Wow, that's something you don't want to be at the back of.
Yeah,
Not
exactly
in the
that.
middle of.
Well, definitely not in the middle.
What a turn that was. That's killed me, that. I'm sorry, I'll be back in a minute.
I should definitely be
Rumax
banned.
and Baby Hornet. I like that one, though. I'm sorry, that was good. It's a later one, it's not the early races, we're fine.
Yeah. We're non-PG after 9 o'clock, so it's all good.
Absolutely. That's so fun. But Baby Hornet and Rumax were swapping, but oh no, Simon just clipped the wall. He clipped the wall on the inside, and it's so easy to do. Simon, what a good battle you are having.
He's done exactly what I did in Tier 3.
Oh, that is a safety car. That was unforced, unfortunately, from Simon. It was just, oh, Jules, that was early to get a drive through for the safety car. That's very unusual.
I wonder if that's a glitch.
But, Simon, because I was watching that battle with him and Rumax, and he just, you just hit that bit too soon, that inside.
Yeah.
You do try to clip that curb, the painted curb on the inside to get the run through it, but oh, that's absolutely hard. I'm gutted because he was having a good battle with Rumax, and they were trading places there at the end of the last lap under DRS. Potentially could have used each other to pull themselves towards the front. Yeah, that's gutted. It really is. I'm gutted for Simon there.
Yeah, I mean, I know how he feels. I've just done the quite literal exact same thing. But, can I just add, I did say a safety car, lap 5, would help Chris majorly.
You did.
Are we going to see Chris come into the pits? I'd be very shocked if he did it on the soft tyres. I think we're going to see micromashing as well. We are.
We're seeing the full pack.
So, this is going to be hard tyres.
I'm shocked.
There's going to be hard tyres all around for these guys. They will all be able to go to the end. They know they can go to the end. This is what I said. So, these people on hard tyres now, this is why I said the hard tyres will really, starting on the hards will really hurt people at this track because of this.
I think though, Error Voice, Ryan stayed out, but Error Voice, it's only 5 laps in. I think Error Voice, really G-Star didn't pit, Stu didn't either. 5 laps on the hards around here. There were maybe around, I'm going to say about 8 to 9% potentially, especially if you're caught in traffic, because you're not pushing as hard, because you're, again, like I mentioned earlier, you're reacting to the cars in front. I think the hards, not pitting. I mean, everybody, as you rightly say, has pitted for the hards. Casey Soze didn't pit, but he's ended up in 8th due to the gap differences. It's not the worst call in the world to not pit yet if you're on the hards. I think Ryan looks after his tyres. We know that. It's probably not the worst thing. If you've got 8-9%, maybe up to 10%, let's say, you're going to use up to 1% on these couple of laps behind the safety car. I'll probably do 2 laps, even though the field's tightly bunching already behind the safety car. You're going to use maybe 1%. They do take a bit longer to come up to temperature than the mediums, but they're going to be worn, those mediums, 5 laps in. They may be on 12, 13%, give or take. So, Error Voice, Stu, potentially not in the worst position at all, I don't think, personally, for not pitting because they start on the hards.
My issue is here, and I don't think I explained it well enough, but you've got Micromash, Chris Bailey, Eugenie, all on fresher tyres behind them. These guys are going to be constantly losing time to those guys because they're going to be defending from them. They also now need, even with another safety car now, let's say, I don't know, 5-10 laps time, they're probably not going to have a massive gap to the rest of the field due to having to fight the Micromashes, the Chris Baileys, the Eugenis, the Kaiser Sozes, Antons, all of that, by which point they're just going to drop to last anyway and probably be last by about 7 or 8 seconds. Yes, they'll have fresher tyres, but it's still going to be hard for them to get all the way back to where they are now, is kind of my thought process. So they might as well have just taken the hit now and almost pit, in my opinion. I mean, the guys on the hards, it would have been hard for because the mediums won't go to the end from here. But
I think that maybe is in the back of their minds. And you're right, we've got 10 people watching and nobody in the YouTube chat. Come on, fellas. Get yourselves in. We want to, ladies and gents, get yourselves in. We want to talk to you, want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the strategies so far, guys? Who are you supporting this evening? You know, come on. I mean, normally we do have E17 in supporting KSSOs and vice versa, but unfortunately they're both on track, so that's one that we're not. Our boss man's in the mountains in the Alps at the minute.
Fabian's here.
Oh, get in. I mean,
5% where I have now.
See, that's it. See, that's what I mean. I mean, okay, I was obviously you do better on your tyres than I do. See, that's it. You know, 5% is nothing, really.
Well, so it's technically a percent per racing lap.
Exactly. You know, he might take, you know, some laps. He may get 1% by the end of a lap while he's trying to scrub them and keep a little bit of warmth in them behind the safety car, which probably will come in this lap.
Also, I just want to say, if anyone reports their voice of being on pause to send that message, he's automatically immune just to communicating with us.
Yeah, there's little bits of pause we allow. But excessive, of course, is a bit different. But, you know, I think that's what I mean. Stu, I mean, he's got a penalty, unfortunately, already. Let's have it. I'm looking at myself. You know, drive through for Jules, who he got that straight where you mentioned it could be a glitch. It's difficult to do that. He got it
that quickly.
It was, wasn't it? And it's drive-through is such a difficult one to sort of take time off because we don't know how much time you would lose, especially if there's going to be other safety cars. But safety car in this lap.
It certainly is. We've got Red Car Rambo leading us away. When's he going to go? I would personally go straight out the final corner here, but I'm tier 3, so don't listen to me. But
no, I think you're probably right.
Well, yeah, but knowing me, I'd try and go out the final corner and you'd see me in the Verstappen wall. But, you know.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. I would probably end up backwards.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, hi guys, as they're all just driving past me going nose to nose with me. But, you know. Ryan did sort of go. He had a bit of a twitch though, which has kept Error Boys right on his heels. It's a bit of an English versus Dutch battle into turn 1. We've seen that before at Jeddah and it didn't end too pleasantly. But
no, isn't that just MRC in general, to be fair, with our contingent of British and Dutch? G-Star's had a good go at Micromash and got through.
Well, he was actually ahead of Micromash, but Micromash sort of got that much good of a restart. I think Stu kind of let him go. He's like, it's pointless even fighting this. Interestingly, Joni is actually stuck behind Stu, which Chris Bailey and Micromash are probably screaming down their headsets right now, saying, Stu, do us all a massive favour here.
But what's interesting there was Joni obviously, you know, Stu went very deep into the hairpin, but that's allowed Joni through.
I think he tried to actually almost not fight too hard with you, Joni, there, and that actually he ended up losing the car while trying to be nice to you, Joni, and then he getting close to the wall. But look at how close Bailey is to the back of Micromash. Chris Bailey has got some heat in those tyres that I don't think I've ever had in hard tyres after 15 laps, let alone 8. So let's see what he's going to do. But at the same time, look at this. Micromash has got the grip on G-Star. I don't think G-Star's going to have a leg to stand on heading into the final corner. And he's not. Don't forget, G-Star will not get DRS either because this is first lap after safety car restart. So Micromash getting this done now will be really beneficial for him. But it's going to be 3 wide, I think, because Bailey's now getting involved as well. This could well be a 3 wide into turn 1. It's not quite going to be, but
he's just holding back at this point. But it's a top 2. Error Voice and Ryan. Error Voice right up, as you said, the chuff of Ryan. But Ryan's handled that restart very, very well. He can be really good under pressure as Ryan. I'm trying to, because I know we don't do on boards much, I'm trying to do on boards and look at people's steering wheels, because the temperatures of the tyres are on those steering wheels. And
I didn't know that.
I'm sort of just trying to have a look at people's temperatures, because that obviously equates to how much grip you're going to get. And it's quite interesting because I think there are a lot of differences, especially I've looked at the top 6. Of course, we've got a mix of the new hard tyres, used hard tyres, and worn mediums as well. And there are quite a few discrepancies between the few of them and all of them. So the different pressures working for each driver there. And I've just looked at that a few times, to be honest, and found it really, really interesting. I'm not going to give anything away, but Summer must be running a lower. Oh, everybody's into the final corner. Look at this as well. The Chris Bell back into Johnny on the two Mercedes guys.
Oh, big moment for Micromash. He's just hit the wall.
No damage. Who's that? What is went defense?
I think red car's just let. I think they've both just let him go there almost. I think they've both just let Micromash go. It looked like red car definitely did. Error Boys maybe just didn't have the speed to deal with him. But look behind, because G-Star, Chris is going to be getting so frustrated because G-Star's doing his teammate an absolutely massive favour here. Even though I don't think there's a team championship in X-Treme, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's no team. It's just this is completely solo. This one. But I was while it might calm down over this sector. I was going to say that some people are running. I think. Wow! Look at Jody into the hairpin. Oh, had a sneaky look.
I'll tell you what. That's very unlike you, Jody. He made a very big lunge there. It was. I'm not going to say desperate because he was very much in control of his car, but that's a very unlike you, Jody kind of move. Usually he waits until he's got that run for an orthodox place, but he's trying unorthodox things here.
Yeah, that really was. You're completely right there, and that really, it surprised both of us. I think it probably surprised Chris. I mean, he did give the room as Chris does, and that was, you're right. That I'm a bit speechless by that. I don't even know what to go with that. That's not a Joni type of move, and that's
not that we see many from you, Jody, because he's usually half a postcode ahead of everyone else. But when he does make a move, I don't. He's also one driver I don't think I've ever in my life seen in Stewards. Genuinely.
Oh, look at this. Chris is 3 wide. He's going to try and take 2 into the first corner.
Oh, there's actually no contact.
And that's
Chris is in the wall.
Contact, Chris. Oh, that was, geez, that went a bit wide, but I think he had Ryan on his inside. Now Johnny's just gone past 2 of them.
Yeah,
I mean, so I wonder if Johnny got a warning for that.
Looking at that from the stream, it looked like a situation of 3 doesn't go into 1. Someone needs to back out here. I'm sure it's going to be in Stewards. I mean, red car was the car on the inside. You could always say he was the man entitled because he was the one just ahead going into the corner. But, I mean, I think that might be 1 in the Stewards because 3 doesn't go into 1 there, does it? Sadly.
No, it certainly doesn't. No, I mean, that's going to be a difficult one. I think it might be a little bit of a bitter pill for Chris to swallow on that one, but maybe he didn't know that there were 3 cars there. It's a difficult one. I think that's going to be an interesting one, like you say, in the Stewards, but I don't think he's got any damage.
He has got damage. He's got a right end plate missing, Chris.
Oh, he does. He does.
I saw it go flying off from the angle I was at. I saw debris go.
But it's not the one that hit the wall. It's the
this is the bit.
That G-Star had contact with G-Star with. And now he's just torn because G-Star's having a look at Ryan and just 3, you said 3 doesn't go. Ryan, I think, just kissed the wall with his tyre there. But this is incredible racing. Micromash sort of getting away with
I wonder if
Johnny just getting away.
They've all got damage because look at Chris go. He's about to get past them both.
But look at G-Star in the inside of the turn 1, but Chris is on the outside of the turn 2. This is really so, but Chris left him room though.
You could see the slight understeer from the damage on Chris's car there into turn 2. Chris had to really back out of the move and couldn't commit as much as he'd like to, and it almost cost him. But I tell you something, G-Star has been the bane of Chris's existence in this race.
He has, and I'm on board with the blowhole at the moment, and you can just see that understeer. He's struggling with that car, and that's going to, you say, it's so frustrating for him. But he got the run out the hairpin. What a move!
Well, how is it?
Where did that come from?
That's a corner where you really need your front wing to be intact, and he's just absolutely pulled the pants down of G-Star there. Sorry, G-Star.
It was on the traction.
Yeah.
He just went, and G-Star didn't move. Now, I don't know if that was tactical from G-Star. I don't know in terms of, okay, I may have forced you, I'm going to let you go in terms of respect out of that, because G-Star, we know, is a very hard racer. Very, very hard racer. But yeah, he's missing an, sorry, that was Chris. But he G-Star's rolling lost half a wing!
I've just seen that in the background because I'm just watching Jody get past Error Boys. But yeah, it looked like he lost it on traction as well.
It was. Chris had a moment. Chris had a big slide on traction, and G-Star just sort of followed suit and lost a wing, and he's dived straight into the pits.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing for G-Star, but at the same time, it's not the worst scenario because it's probably roughly about when he's been pitting off those medium tyres anyway, but it's just a shame because he's got to add like about 5 seconds onto that pit stop to change the wing. But Bailey's going to stick this out now, I think, with the wing damage.
I think you're right, yeah. I think you're right. I'm just looking through the penalties. Okay, fair enough, doesn't matter. I thought I saw a discrepancy, like, I thought someone had got a penalty and it hadn't come up on the screen, but it was in the race director, but no, it's all good. Doesn't matter. Ignore me. As you were.
Well, I know Sabey's got 9 seconds. You can tell he's on controller today, can't you?
You really can, can't you? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Sabey get a penalty in my life, and now he's got 9 seconds in, 13 laps? So, Sabey, a bit of advice.
You need to commentate Tier 1 more with me, don't you? You need to definitely do Tier 1 more with me, my friend.
I haven't done a Tier 1 this season yet. That's all.
Have you not?
So, no, I'm designated Tier 2, aren't I, at this point?
To be fair, yes, that's actually a fair point. To be fair, between you and the driver formerly known as Chatty Duck, yeah, you guys are pretty much the two designated ones at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got you into one. I'm sure I have. I know I have planned the next 4 races out. I just haven't published them yet, but I have planned them and. I cannot remember who is on in Canada. I'm not going to lie, I can't remember.
Red car 10 seconds.
Ryan 10 seconds for track limits. That is the strangest one I've seen yet.
I wonder if he's just completely cut the first sector, potentially. Maybe had a moment and just gone through the runoff, because that is the sort of thing that would give you 10 seconds. But
yeah,
Saviour's retired
in the pit. Yeah.
I wonder if that's just Saviour thinking, like, I'm on control and it's probably just a hindrance. He did drop to last, but I mean, of course, he'll be messaged as always, like protocol. But Joni has taken about 0.6 of a second out of Micromash on this lap.
This is, I think, where the tyres are going to just start to kick in, because Aerovoice is holding really well in third. He's done 5 laps, of course, he hasn't pitted. 5 laps more than the guys around him. But we know Airvoice on his day is an extremely quick driver. He's lost a little bit of pace, unfortunately, but Chris is the one I'm sort of watching. He's got that damage, as we know, but he's got, and his former teammate in Tier 1, and of course our results admin. He's got the newcomer Colin behind him and Floppy Loppy as well. They're all just sort of line astern at the moment. But it's going to be interesting to see what the gap is that Chris can do with Aerovoice. Now, at the time that I've been talking, the gap with Aerovoice and Ujoni hasn't changed much. Maybe by a 10th or so it's fluctuated, but Chris has actually closed that gap quite considerably, in fairness, by a couple of tenths to Aerovoice with the damage that he's got.
Yeah, the issue now, though, he hasn't closed it as quickly as he'd like, because he's got Ant and Colin, who, by the way, Colin, absolutely sensational debut from him so far as well. And I think now it's also a firm case to say he may well be Tier 1 pace here as well. But, yeah, I mean, obviously to be able to keep up with Ant, and he was, don't forget as well, he was right with you, Joni and Micromash as well at the start of that race, Colin, as well. So it's been a great debut showing from him. I think Chris is now soon going to become rather under pressure from Ant before he even gets to Aerovoice. We know these two absolutely adore each other.
The two, but he has closed quite considerably this last lap. He got a little bit of a twitch outside of Farm Corner. I think Ant's just going to go through. He does.
And here comes Colin.
Because, yeah, Colin's going to have a quick look, not able to do anything. Yeah, it was. But Aerovoice has dropped off the back. I mentioned that the gap hadn't gone down from about 4.7. It's now dropped a second to the top 2. But the other guys have closed a second as well. So it shows that Ant, Bailey, Corrin, Lockie are circulating at the same pace as the top two, and everybody's just struggling that little bit more on the more worn hard tyres, and 9 laps to go already, which is incredible.
Yeah, the most interesting thing is now, look at that top two. Eric Microrush just had a big moment as well. He's lost about a tenth of a second, but here's going to be coming now, the mighty Italian that we see every single week. He's hunting his prey. Can he catch it? That's the question at this point, because Micromash he's really pushing the limits with track here. I'm not saying he's exceeding, but he's getting very close to exceeding. So
yeah, I mean, that shows the pressure that he's under and how much he is really pushing on. And
I mean, I wouldn't want you journey behind me in any stage of life. If I'm honest.
Definitely, especially when he sets the fastest lap like that behind you as well.
Yeah, and
that's
now all of a sudden he's gone from
nice.
1.2 seconds to 5/10 of a second behind you in the space of about 6 corners. So no thank you.
Everybody's seen that gap dropping. Everybody's seen that gap dropping. He's bailed and pitted after 16 laps on the hard tyres, pitted for the mediums, so he is easily going to go to the end.
It is. He's going to come out potentially just in front. No, just behind the Haas of B17. Actually, going to be insanely close between the two. No, he's just behind, but he is on the fresh set of medium tyres. I'm going to be interested to see where he can get that car now, though, what progress he can make. He might be looking to try and get around Freddie Olsen in P9 here, or Berger potentially in P8.
Yeah, funny enough, I was thinking that myself. You read my mind there a little bit, because, if he can clear E17 and use the grip of those mediums, there's of course, he can really close that down onto the little train of Wu, Max and Jules behind Freddie. And Freddie's one of those drivers as well. He's had a lot of good showings in Tier 2 as well this season, and really progressed massively this season as a driver. And full credit to the man, the Finnish driver, and he is really doing well. And full credit to him where credit where credit's due.
Yeah, it's one of them where he's Freddie Olsen as well. Actually, I'll say this from last season. He's one of my favourite drivers to race wheel to wheel. I had some insane battles with him last season. I mean, Micromash, 3 seconds for him. Eugeni is likely to win this race again, unless something quite drastic happens. But
but I looked at the race director, and it's not all clear cut. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I think a certain Italian may have some warnings, but we'll soon find out. But what is impressing me is Chris has this damage. He's managed to hold on to Anton. I mean, Anton's not really making any impression on the front two. Let's put it that way. But I think Eugeni's going to go for this here and now. Like, he is only 2/10. He's seriously closing. I have got on board with him briefly because the camera angle wasn't even showing them to, even though I was with Eugeni. But let's see what he can do. The thing is, this next corner is not really an overtaking opportunity, in my opinion. You always have to back out the straight just to not... Oh, he's gone super wide. He's lost his rear a little bit there, Eugeni. But it hasn't hurt him at all. That man, he has some cojones on him.
He's got reactions of a cat, that man. He really does. The way that he does it. There was something he said, I think it was Imola, I'm going to say, a few rounds ago. And he turned on and said, oh no, I like it when the car locks up and, you get the front locking up because it helps you turn.
I know, yeah.
No, just no. It doesn't.
If that's the case, I'm going to turn the ABS off just so I can actually turn the car, because no setup seems to help me with that. But Eugeni's just taken the lead. In other news, now we've got Chris.
I would more torque in my setups than anybody else in the league, because I like a pointy car and I had toe angle for that reason. But if we were doing just going, nah, I don't run it, but I'll just lock up instead and get the car to turn. That doesn't make sense to me, because surely if you lock up, you're going to go straight on.
in the nicest way possible, he's a nutcase. You know what I mean? Like in the absolute, and I mean that in a complimentary way, if you can mean it in that complimentary way. But yeah, I love you, Jody, but please just race for me. I'll give you my details. You know, hit me up.
This battle for third is mega at this moment in time. I've got Colin, you know, Chris Bailey still on the back of Ant, as you mentioned, who is still losing time to the top two, but I guess he's got to go a little bit defensive. But Colin is hustling the back of Chris Bailey up. We know he's got that damage after the contact with G-Star. This is really going to hot up, I think, in the next 6 racing laps. Jules are 3 seconds.
Oh, Chris has hit the wall! This is going to open the opportunity. He's just absolutely smashed the wall in the final corner. He very much Verstappened it like his idol. Sorry, Chris. But, oh, there's contact between the Red Bull and the Ferrari.
Yeah, I think Lockie just tapped the back, but, you know, Chris, that's the damaged part of the wing. He's already lost the front end plate, so it may not have cost anything to Chris on that one. That's one of those hits that you think, all right, well, it's already gone. You know, stop 3. Let's go game on.
No, the genuine thing was, without me being an idiot to him this time, he actually hit it the exact same way as Verstappen did, where it was the rear wheel that hit it first. So almost, he's kind of lucky maybe not to get the puncture. But,
yeah, I've never yet had one of those. I think that's something that I don't always advocate bringing damage into a race, obviously. But I think that would be quite an interesting factor that they could bring into these games is, you know, like you say there, hit the wall or hit someone hard enough, you get the punch. We don't seem to get the puncher territory in these games, unfortunately. Have you?
Yeah, I had one. Well, I decided that I thought I'd try and do an Alex Albon at one race last season and got a puncher on the penultimate lap.
Oh, yes, no, I have heard if you go long on your tyres in the wear, then yeah, you can potentially get it that way. Yes, I have heard that.
But the actual puncture through damage is if you put simulation damage on, that's when the punctures come into play.
Ah, okay, that makes sense now. Whoa,
but
Chris
Bailey's just
defensive against Colin.
Colin is really. Do you know how I know he's part of this MRC family? Because he likes chuff action like the rest of them. So yeah, he's definitely part of MRC.
I raced a few wheel to wheel with this, like I say, on Monday evening, and there were times that we were wheel to wheel a bit, and I messaged him quite a bit afterwards, and you know, he is definitely going to be a great addition to this team because look at that, it's so clean, but he's gone into the hairpin, he's going to do an journey on the inside of Chris at the hairpin, and he's got the move done. Can Chris hold on the outside? He can't. What a move from Colin! Wow.
Can I just say, he's just pulled a Chris Bailey on Chris Bailey. Because Chris Bailey did that to a certain... Who was it he did it to? Was it you, Joni, he did it to earlier? But, yeah, he's just pulled a Chris Bailey on Chris Bailey. But here comes Chris Bailey. I'm sick of saying his name, but he's got the move done.
With the DRS, yeah. Wow, this is incredible. I love this.
Do you know what? I'm not sure how Chris is still driving that car. Like, seeing this right now from Chris just makes me realise how talentless I am. But look at this! God, he's going on the outside now. They're going to be 4 wide potentially nearly into that corner. Wow, that was close. Oh, big moment for Colin!
Oh, Colin, no!
The issue is Bailey's going to have DRS.
Yeah, Colin's not, but he's going to be no.
There goes Armour. They're 3 wide.
Armour's gone through.
Yeah, Colin's lost 3 places.
Oh, that's guttering for him, but to be fair, I know he's going to keep a cool head. I know he's going to come charging back through. That's going to be... Oh, wow. That's fantastic racing.
I've also, in the midst of all of this, Eugenie and Micromash have been swapping positions on every single lap. So... Yeah,
pretty much.
we've missed that, because I noticed last lap Micromash was back ahead of Eugenie. Now Eugenie's back ahead of Micromash. Jules is out. Is that... No
it's a safety
way.
Car. Oh, it's in the wall outside of... I don't even know what corner that is. 5, 6?
Do you know who that hurts majorly, though? That really, really hurts Micromash. Does Chris take this opportunity to fix that wing?
he's going to drop behind because of the difference in the delta. He'll
go down to Bergen.
Train.
Yeah, so it doesn't really hurt him with pressure tyres.
No, that's it. But then, you know, he's going to have... But the safety car's only going to really last a lap because it gives you at least two laps of racing. So it's only going to be out a quick lap.
The only good thing is
Micromash are the ones who really have the free pit stop. So I'm going to keep my eye on these two.
This is a very long track,
to pit. Micromash is going to pit as well. The top two are pitting.
Anton, I think Anton's going to go for track position, if I'm honest. He's got to try something to keep them behind. It's going to be hard. But we know Chris has to pit, surely.
He is staying out. No, Chris is staying out.
Chris stays as well.
But Johnny's gone for the softs. Micromash has gone for the softs.
Okay, I'm not sure Lorpe may get investigated for that because he went all the way into the pit entry and then cut out last second. So I do wonder if he'll get investigated. But interestingly, Micromash has come out of the back of these guys.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Now, that's really strange. Johnny's right behind and ahead of Chris Bailey. But Micromash, this is going to cause a huge headache for Colin, Loppy, Ahmed because they're still, you know, worn tyres, as you say, and really fighting still for that potential fourth. Ryan, it's not gone well for you in your penalties, buddy. But, you know, they're really, really fighting at the outer reaches here and for a potential podium. Chris is not going to be happy that O'Joni's between them. He's going to hope that potentially, you know, O'Joni clears and quickly so that Chris can get on the back of him. But then we've got Micromash. You know, like you say, he's got that 3-second penalty. That's going to hurt him because, I mean, Bergen's got a 3-second penalty as well. It's going to hurt him with error voice. And if E17 can catch up before the safety car comes in, which will be the end of this lap, and Stubbs managed to get 3 seconds under safety car. So, well done, Stubbs. You've done something well there. Rumax 3, Friddy has got 3, Stu's got 9 seconds, Red Carambo, I don't know how, but somehow got 16 seconds, unfortunately for him. But as long as he finishes, he should get some points as well. So. Yeah,
but it's going to be interesting. This has really ruined totally Micromash's race now. Like, he was guaranteed at least P2 before the safety car. Now he's going to be lucky to even finish in the top 10. Bailey, what a sensational drive for him though, with damage since, what was it, lap probably 10ish roughly. He's had damage since. Then you've had like Armar Red, who's really showed his pace today. Lorpe even right there in the action the entire time. Anton, can he hold back from you, Joni? Like, I mean, he's got essentially 1 lap with DRS to hold you, Joni, off.
That's it, but he's got on right on the apex.
I would have gone later there if I'm honest, because you don't even have that traction. He may even get him into turn 1. I better go on board with that. You don't need to try and get this done at the earliest possible moment.
He's getting closer. He's on the inside of the brakes. Answer left room. That grip for those soft tyres gone. Done.
Yeah. See you later. Have a good day. And
switch from Anta as well. In a way, that's what Micromash has got through on Colin as well. In a way, that's going to help Chris because he didn't want that Mercedes in between the two of them on, you know, same tyres. But that's just the way the pit stop.
Oh, Chris!
Chris!
That was the front wing. It was the front wing. You could see it. He's turned in for. I don't even know what corner that is. I think it's like 7. But he's turned in, and the front end just didn't react to what he asked it to do, and he's had to try and save a slide, and off the track he went. But yeah.
But I mean, he's not going to. If he can keep it here for the next lap, Micromash is absolutely all over the back of Armour Red, charging down, trying to get that second position back. But he has got the 3 seconds. So if Chris can keep ahead, you know, if Armour is very good at defence. I've raced against him most of the season. And like you say, we've got 1 lap of the DRS, and they're all close. But to be fair,
Chris is going for the move.
Around with Ant.
Yeah, and I tell you
what,
Chris will be absolutely praying that Micromash tries something with Anton here, because if he does, he could help him build a gap. Ant will be desperate to try and get past Chris into turn 1. He's not going to get it done. He won't get DRS. He will get DRS. Heinrich Schmidt is now in the YouTube. He's supporting B17. But Anton will be praying that he can just grab hold of a DRS. He will not want Chris to break this second to him anytime soon. And I'll be hoping Mike Crash is fairly sensible with it. But look at Michael Massey pushing him!
Wow. But this is all Ant can do. If Ant holds him up, where's Michael Massey? He's going to have a look into the hairpin again. I've never seen so many moves into the hairpin before.
No, neither have I. I'm baffled. It just shows how little skill I have, literally.
Wow. But don't forget, Chris and Michael Massey both have 3-second penalties.
Yeah, they're going to drop
down the order.
8.
As things stand, Ant and Armour are going to be the other ones on the podium. Ujoni set the fastest lap of the race on the safety car restart with no DRS.
It's
mental.
He's got
here comes Michael Mash. He's got the DRS. Chris, I think, is a little bit helpless. He was. But Ujoni does what Ujoni does.
He does. Well, he's not going to win, is he? Oh, he's only won. That's the first for MRC, isn't it?
The fastest lap. Wow.
I'll tell you what, look at this. Oh, I thought it was going to be super close. Chris has dropped. Oh my god, Chris has dropped all the way to the 9th. That's such a huge shame for him. Error voice though, you know we said about his pit stop. Look where he's ended up.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
That is insanely impressive. Pretty sadly, something happened to him because he was right up there at one point, wasn't he? But yeah, he pitted and I think he might have got caught up on something on the restart. But that was some race. I mean,
wow.
The whole race we had, I mean, the first, 5 laps, we had 7 cars all in the same proximity as each other. So
most of the race, we had at least 4 of them. Multiple tiers, multiple drivers that you, for want of a better term, and no disrespect to any of them, that we don't always talk about. And that's just one of those, the thing about X-Treme and the no assist, some people, it just works for some people. And that was a fantastic race, absolutely incredible race as well.
Yeah, it certainly was. But your finishing order, Ujoni is in first and will take second. Omar Red is third, and what a race for him, the tier 2 driver. Lorphy is fourth. Colin in P5 on debut, 6th for Error Boys. What a drive from him. Mike Cramash dropped all the way to P7. Kaiser Soze in 8th. He'll be happy with that. I think that's his extreme debut as well. Chris Bailey is in P9. He will not be happy with that, but he's got to be proud of himself for the drive he had with a very little of a wing. Wumax is P10. Bergen in P11. B17 and P12, G-Star, he was right up there battling with those guys. He's P13. Stoob, P14, wins for Tier 3 as well. Freddie Olsen, P15. Red Car Rambo is P16. And you've got Jules, Saviour, Baby Hornet, and Smith, who did DNF. Mark, who's your driver of the day?
I'm going, as much as the action between all those guys at the top was just incredible, lap after lap. Couldn't plan on who was going to make a move, who was going to go through. I'm going to give it, for his patience and for his debut in the league, I'm going to give it to Colin, because he very well measured race. The moves he made were clean and very respectful, and I've got to give it to Colin on his first showing in MRC. I've got to give it to the Dutchman. Yeah,
I mean, I definitely deserved. I'm also going to give it one to an extra person. I think Error Voice deserves it. That first stint he drove on those hard tires was absolutely insane, and then to manage to, bear in mind he was at a disadvantage. I know the safety car brought him back into play, but that was an insane drive to get all the way back to P6, I think it was at the end. So I think if we share out between Colin and Error Voice, I think that's two very... If Chris didn't get that 3 seconds, I'll be honest, it would have probably been Chris for managing to get on the podium with half a front wing. But
yeah, I would agree. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think Colin and Error Voice are the two. But that is it for Jeddah. Jeddah is now out of the way. That it should have been out of the way weeks ago, but blame England for doing something right in
Oh, that was it.
tournament.
That was it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was it. That's why we called off that. Good
Uh,
call.
but that'll be it. Now we look forward to Canada. We jump, what was it, like 7 races in the calendar to round
Yeah.
9, and we head to the North America from the Middle East, and we will be there at Friday at 7:30. The action will be, as always, streamed. Commentary team, I think, is me and Simba, I want to say.
Nice.
And then, obviously, Monday you'll get to see if Mark Sinclair tier 2 title.
Wow.
And see, yeah,
Wow.
you've dropped that bad.
Dude.
And then, I think actually, genuinely, I think 3 titles could be clinched next week. I think you Jody can clinch tier 1. I think Bobo, I think Bobo's probably already won tier 3. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
the
then
tier championship could be done next week, yeah.
that's crazy when you think there's 4 races to
Wow.
go. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably not a good look, is it? But oh
I
well.
do know that you're on tier 2, so please do not curse me.
I'm on
I
tier
want
2
your
again.
support. I think you are.
No, I'm
You've
bad
been
from
my
tier
good luck
2.
charm, funny enough, this year, so I've got to
Yeah,
give you one
I
there
mean,
again.
I love how I'm just getting used and abused at this point. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so don't forget to tune in. 5 races a week. Nowhere else does it like us. If you want to dispute that, my DMs are open, but no one else does it like us. So yeah, make sure you tune in. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and actually comment on our YouTube chat next week, because you guys have been very silent today, which is very, very strange. But yeah, everyone have a good night, and we'll see you on Friday.
Certainly will.
Bye bye.
Bye now.